Go Trekker! Go Fat Trekker! Go, go, go!
The Kelpie Fat Track Pod, brought to you by Kelpie, affordable race products designed to help you stay on track. Now onto the episode.
Yeah, sweet. All right, so I've got Josh McLean here with me, and Josh is at his workplace. So it's actually your business, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah, correct. Yep, just in the workshop now.
And so that's it's JMM or Josh McLean Motorcycles. What do people know it by?
Just Josh's shop. That's all we go by. Go down and see Josh.
Yeah, right.
Time of the day.
And that's located in Horsham in Victoria.
Yeah, we're Horsham, Victoria based. Yep, just pretty much nearly in the CBD.
Yeah, cool. And you're originally from Portland, aren't you?
Yeah, born and raised in Portland. Then when I was about 16, 17, moved to Hamilton to work at Barry Francis. And then a few years later, finished my apprenticeship and ended up in Horsham, of all places.
Yeah, right. Okay. So, and were you racing bikes like since you were little over in Portland and that? Because there's MX tracks and stuff there, isn't there?
Yeah, so we actually grew up racing BMX, of all things. And I tried to think about this the other day, how I got on the motorbikes, but my best friend, Thomas Alexander, I think he's the one that got me into it. He had like a KX60 at the time, or might have been a 50. And I think the parents just started talking, and we just started getting bikes together. And before we knew it, we were racing club level, and then we're at state, then we're at national, and just getting good results as a junior, traveling and doing the circuit.
Yeah, and then you went into motocross, and I suppose for the listeners that don't know you, I know that some of our listeners will know you because you know quite a few of the same people I know. You're into super motard. That's your main discipline, isn't it? Super motard.
Yeah, that's it. So we stumbled across that. I reckon might have been like 2010, maybe. The old man bought me a bike, and it actually had the Bigfoot wheels, 21-inch front, 19-inch rear with the real skinny cheese cutters.
Oh, right.
We went to Gambia and Mac Park for a ride, and I was like, man, I need 17s. Like, I need them fat tires. Lean this thing over, and ended up getting a set of wheels. Went to Broadford and got absolutely smoked because I was in the Bears class, which is like your British, European big bike, 1,000cc bikes. I'm on a 250cc motocross bike.
Yeah.
And then from there, it just progressed. I bought a blown up 2009 450 Honda. Mate, Gambia sold wheels. He gave me a set of wheels, had the standard front brake on it, caliper with a 320mm disc.
Yeah.
And started trying to race, and was just finding the limits of I reckon I was only running like a 4 1/4 rear rim at the time.
Yeah, okay.
60 tyre. So, but at the time I didn't know any different. I didn't even have warmers. I was just low pressures and just going out and holding it flat, just doing size.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, it just progressed from there, just doing what I did from there on. I think 2015, end of 2014, and then start of 15, I started pushing it, training, and I didn't even know what I was training for. I just kept riding.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that because I think the first time I caught sight of you was at a Broadford day, and I'd been going to New Zealand and racing in the Burt Munro Challenge, and that's how I got on a set of motards. I'd never ridden motards before, but the event, I went over there to do a long track dirt track event on the trotting track, but that got cancelled. But I booked everything, and I went, I'm going to get a set of motards and just have a good crack at that. And then when I came back, I enjoyed it so much over there. I wanted to do more of it, but it just wasn't as accessible here, I guess. I think it was Bruce Hill, wasn't it? That was rest in peace, Bruce. Yeah, he's passed away, but he was running those days like on Fridays on the road circuit at Broadford and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
they got people turn up. It was good.
Yeah.
Always get 10, 12 people turn up during a weekday too.
Yeah, which isn't easy. And I'm pretty sure you're on your Honda then.
Correct. Yeah, it would have been still. Yep.
Yeah, and that was so I'm backtracking a little bit. I got ahead of myself. So you rode motocross and stuff as a junior. Yeah.
So we raced heavily and very competitively as a junior. And at the time, I didn't realise how much money my old man had put into the racing, being 14, 15, I had no idea what things cost. We were running 6 bikes in 2006. We ran 6 bikes, 285s, 2125s, 250s, and like all identical, suspension, mods, everything. And that was my biggest year. But never had good success at nationals. Always like a top 10 finisher in the overalls, but just always had like a shit run. Where was my first one? Our first one was Perth on a 65 in 2002, and was leading the main event, like the first main. And a kid in front of me crashed, and I ended up jumping under a yellow flag. But you know, there was nothing. I was already committed. It was like a downpour. Like it was fucking slosh. I was committed. Long story short, got protested by this kid.
Oh, right.
And I got put back to 9th, which was a position behind him. I don't know how they fucking figured that out.
Yeah.
And long story short, that cost me a podium in my first year as a national. The next year was obviously 2003. I think we went to Adelaide, and that's when I stepped up to an 85. Same thing. I was leading. I think it was the last final in the ECU shit itself. Just going up the hill, leading, and it just started popping and farting. I lost it over that. Not sure where I finished that year. I wouldn't have been that good because we got a DNF. But yeah, just same stuff like that. Just, I think the next year was Tassie, and it was my first year on the big wheel, and I'm a short ass. So I struggled. And that was when we got a KTM 85, and that was like the new thing, and I couldn't ride it because the thing was super tall, and I was too used to the Honda 85, and it was like a lounge chair. Like you just back and go. But you know, but that's racing. It is what it is.
And you reckon you learnt a lot from doing all that you racing? I'm sure you would have, and all those experiences.
There's a lot of life lessons that come along with racing. There's a lot of communications that you do as well, like people skills as well from racing. And that's what's so good about sport in general. Motorsport is like, people care. Like, you know, they're happy to help you. They want to help. And we're all there to do the same thing. We're there to race. We're there to win. And at the same time, we're there to have fun.
Yeah, that's it. And so, you know, people are probably sitting here listening and thinking, oh, why has he got a super motard racer on a flat track pod? But I actually think the sports are very similar. Like the sensation of backing a motard in around the corner is pretty similar to backing a flat track bike or dirt track bike on a dirt corner. And then I mean, the only real difference is you dirt sections with your motocross jumps and stuff. It's a little bit more aggressive than like a TT track. But you're also, something that really interests me, we've had a couple sort of discussions on social media and across messages and stuff. And you've said about racing flat track, but you want to do it on 19s. You don't want to do it so much on the 2118. What's the story behind that?
It just doesn't look right. You know what I mean? You got a big front wheel and a small back wheel with a trials tire. No, like you just look at America and what they're doing. The bikes, you know, I know I've done one flat track event which I talked about at Sturgis.
Yeah,
that little arena we did, and actually won the 250 class. But you know, you just look at their bikes in America, how they're set up. Like here, it looks like they're running full motocross suspension, not lowered, and the things are just dancing around everywhere. But the ones in America are lowered. They've got the wheels are the same front and rear, and the things just track and go.
Yeah. So
that's what I'm interested in. Plus, it's something new that needs to happen in Australia, because why are we still running 2118? Where's the progression?
Yeah, well, you know, it is part of the history, and I do bat on about it a lot, about not wanting to destroy that. So the guys that want to keep racing it, you know, go ahead, keep racing it. But I'm with you too that we should be joining the rest of the world. And I do like, it's a good way to describe it, you know, the setup, the way it's lowered. some of the best bikes I've ever ridden on a dirt track are like your old TTs and XT 500s and that, and they've got a lower center of gravity, and it just feels right. It just compared to the higher motocross bikes. A lot of our dirt track races, they do lower, 20 to 30 mil, but it still looks high in comparison. But yeah, so you went over to America and started racing supermoto. What was the motivation behind that? It wasn't a big enough scene here, or it was just something you wanted to tick off the bucket list?
What was that? That was 2015. We raced at Newcastle, and that Boydie put on that one down the foreshore first time.
Yeah.
And
that looked like an awesome event.
It was good, really good. Like completely different. Take the bikes to the fucking people. Like, let's go into town, and people are going to be there who don't follow motorsport or know what a motorbike is. So let's introduce them to that, which is great. But yeah, so that was my first national on a motard. We ended up finishing 5th that year. Obviously had better brakes and somewhat standard suspension that year.
Yeah.
But I think in the scheme of things, I was third Australian. There was 2 other foreigners there, Lewis Cornish and I can't remember who the other guy was.
Because that one was like an Asian Cup or part of an Asian Cup?
Nah, that was the next year.
Oh, okay.
That was the following year.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we did that, and I was like, man, that was cool, but I want a series. I want to race in a series where like I can have a bad day and still be good.
Yeah.
In the points. So dude just got on my phone and was like, AMA Super Moto, what's in America? And it popped up with Josh Jackson. So I just messaged him, and I'm like, dude, you're bound to have a spare bike in your shed. He's like, yeah, I got heaps. You can use one. I'm like, all right, done. And he let me stay at his house, which ended up being Glenn's house, and we just got on like a house on fire.
So did you know those guys, or it was just totally out of the blue?
So, dude just said, oh yeah, I'll come over. And when I got there, he's like, I didn't think you were turning up.
Yeah,
awesome. On the plane ticket. I'm on my way. And anyway, my sister ended up coming with me because she didn't want me going by myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got on really well, and that was just what I wanted to do. I wanted to have that series with that backing. It was live stream. It had like, there's purse money. It's good. Like the next, like it was good.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted. So, and results wise, started really well, and then sort of went really shit. But that was just bike setup. I didn't touch that thing all year.
Yeah, okay.
The first round was like pretty much what we race here. It was just real tight 90s and stuff. And then the rest of it was like real fast stuff. So had no experience in that, but finished 4th that year in the Pro Open.
Yeah, you still did all right. Was that Sturgis was that year? At the bike rally between the buildings or under a building or something it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, correct. Through the downtown of Sturgis.
Yep. Yeah, that would have been pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was a cool event. And yeah, I think they got that on the calendar for 23.
Have they? Yeah, right.
That unofficially, I think it's on the calendar for 23.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched your race. I started watching your race over there a bit on any YouTube I could find and that sort of stuff. And
yeah, there was that MAV TV coverage they had that year.
Yeah, no, it was bloody awesome. Yeah,
something happened. They never uploaded all the events. There was another one from Colorado that never got uploaded.
Oh, okay.
And something happened between MAV TV and AMSOIL, and they just like deleted everything. Just moved on. I think I've got the footage here on an old laptop somewhere. If I fired it up, I'd be able to bring it up.
Yeah, right. And so you did that for up to COVID, I'm guessing, and then COVID sort of slowed things down.
That was 2016. We went over for the first time.
Yeah.
I flew back and forwards every round, which now was a mistake. I should have just stayed there. But yeah, went over 16. Did what I had to do, come back, race the Australian titles at Cairns, I think it was that year. Finished 3rd, wasn't happy with that. Went to Western Australia, won the title over there. And then life happened. Met my partner and had a kid, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And that sort of stuffed everything. And I didn't walk away from the sport, just didn't even bother to try and do anything because it was too hard. Like,
Yeah.
imagine trying to get on a plane when you couldn't leave your house.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, pretty hard.
That just gets back to what happened was, 21 was a bit more relaxed, and they brought out the calendar and said, we're going racing. You can get on a plane and talk to the missus, and she's like, just do what you got to do. If you want to hop on a plane, go race, go race. Like, I'm like, all right. And it happened to be that race I did in April at Prim, which was a Anthony Hart Memorial. Just Kerry Hart's brother, he died on a motard, and they put it on a memorial, and I missed it in 16 by one weekend. Like, no one told me it was on. So I went back to do that race, and it just happened to be in conjunction with AMA. That was the first round. And I was like, shit, I'm leading the points. What do I do? And Mum and Dad were like, don't go back. Worry about your business. And then my missus was like, go back. Like, fucking do it. Like,
chase it. Yeah, and that's awesome. That's awesome. Just the whole way the adventure began. I mean, that's a fantastic story. And then you're never going to forget that in your lifetime, those experiences.
Like, I'm one of them people. I don't want to be sitting back going, fuck, I wonder what happened if I'd done that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm like that too. Yeah.
I'd rather go there and be broke and lose than go, all right, now I know what could have happened.
Yeah, that's it. So you started the business as well, your bike shop.
Yeah. So same thing. I worked for a company here in Horsham, and they were really good to me. In 16, they let me go away. They paid me a weekly wage while I was gone, which was really good.
Yeah.
So I'm forever grateful for them. But it just got to the point where it was, we just went our separate ways. And one day I just quit, had enough, and went home. And Tash was like, what are we going to do for money? I'm like, I don't know. I've got enough money to sit here for a couple months. Anyway, got a mate in town. He rides. He's older. And he goes, there's a lady down the street. She's got a shop or a factory. She might rent it out to you. She's not doing anything with it. So I went and talked to her, and, long story short, I started moving all my shit into the shed and told people I was working. At the time, I didn't have an ABN or anything. I was just doing cashies.
Yeah.
As you do. And then, same thing, just progressed from there. Next minute, you got an ABN, you've got parts, you got a lot of parts, then you got a shitload of parts, and then you've got, everything. People just knocking on your door all the time. Need this done now. Want this done? Let's go.
Is there any other major bike shops
in Australia? Yeah, so there's with motorcycles, they're a Honda and KTM dealership.
Yeah.
But they're people need options.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, the reason I was going there, sorry, I think there was a bit of lag at the same time, is because you've got a motocross club up there.
Correct. They're very good.
So those guys need a good business to go to, or a couple, like you say, choices to go to. And I was having a scroll on your Facebook page before. Looks like you do a wide variety of stuff, pretty much everything: engine rebuilds, wheel builds, shocks. Yeah. So
if we can make money, we'll do it.
Yeah. If you didn't know how to do it, I'm guessing you figure it out.
That's it. Just work it out.
Yeah. Awesome. And so then you went back to America this year. So you went. And was that 21, you said?
Yeah, 2016, and then 21, they released the calendar for 22.
Okay.
And that's when we went over in April of this year to Prim. And then it just so happened, just because of COVID and that, they only ran a 4-round series this year, which is perfect for me. And the second and third round were like consecutive weekends. That was actually, we raced Tuesday, Wednesday, and then had to drive 10 hours to be there Friday, Saturday for the next track. So they gave us a day to drive.
All right.
But it's fine. And that was huge because we left LA to Sturgis to race there. And then from Sturgis, we had to go all the way to Shawano, Wisconsin. And that's pretty much on the East Coast. So that was a 36-hour drive. I had to do it by myself because I had a heap of plans locked in. And it was I wouldn't say it was hard, but my van shit itself here in Australia like a month before. So there's all your money gone.
Yeah.
I had to buy a car here or another new van because I'm screwed without it. Like,
Yeah.
I can't make money without it. So then it got back to I had no money, so I had to find some money. It was just luckily enough, it was you actually with the job form, I believe.
Yeah.
And dude, that took off. That was like $9,000 or something out of that.
Awesome.
Donated. So that got me across the country in America to get the race, and it just happened to be I actually ran out of money at Wisconsin. We burned a lot of tires. Stone gave me a set of tires just as a bit of a feeler. So I ran out of money. It was just as well I won because the prize money was like $1,000 for the 250 class. So I paid cash, like done. It's a crisp 100. So that got me back to LA. I had a couple $100 left over.
Yeah.
And I took Glenn's truck. He's like, yeah, just take my truck. Couldn't find a van. Or Jared McNeil actually got a van, but we couldn't use it because it wasn't registered, insurance, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So we just got a U-Haul trailer, got a van, packed it, and just took off. So and that broke as well. So that was even more fun.
So what's it like when you go over there as far as, because obviously the currency difference and that your money wouldn't go as far as you'd want it to. What are the tire prices like and stuff?
So basically, like things are cheaper, but when you do the conversion, same price. So basically, I think at the time, like, I was losing like 40 cents to the dollar. That hurts when you're talking a couple grand, $8,000.
Yeah.
There you go. It's like two.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I can't remember now. I could pull it up. I think I bought a rear tire. It was like $240 or something for a Michelin.
Was that US?
That was US. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
220 or 240, something like that. Which is about 320 or something Australian. Which is about where
the
it
same.
is here. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, it's because I was interested in that. I sort of do look around a bit, and that was what I thought was the go. But I thought, you've been over there, I might as well ask you why I've got you here.
Well, they complain about their fuel prices, but they're paying less than what we are per litre when you break it down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that's nothing. Like, we're paying $220, $230 a litre. They did the math, like, oh shit, fuck hell, like, we're doing this, and I reckon I was paying $6 a gallon. The further you get away from LA, the cheaper the fuel gets. It's crazy.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's nearly double in LA than it is on the East Coast.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I suppose, imagine if they went to New Zealand or England, they'd be curling over.
I'm pretty sure New Zealand was like $3.50 a litre.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I think it's back down around the 320 or something, I was told, but that was probably 6 months ago anyway, so who knows now.
VP.
Yeah, no, it's pretty full on. And so when you went over this year, as you said, the drop form got you across the line. Well, not the drop form put it out there and people jumped on and helped you, which is bloody awesome.
Yeah, that got me those consecutive rounds, 2 and 3, for sure, dude.
Yeah, and because you were leading the points, weren't you? And you needed to get over there to finish the job, really.
That's it. What could have happened if I didn't go?
Yeah.
So, but no, it was it got me through, and then obviously we went back in November to Tucson for the final round. But yeah, getting back those other 2 rounds, won both rounds on the 250 class, the Pro 250. Sturgis was good. I got second to Holbecker. He's like world number 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Active KTM rider, full-time rider.
So does he ride in Europe and everything, does he?
Yeah, he's S1 GP number 2, I'm pretty sure, number 3.
Yeah.
Factory backed and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, full on.
But he's next level. And then round 3 was just tough, mentally tough. Just exhausted from the drive, and then racing 2 classes in humid weather, and that just
Surely you're suffering from jet lag as well.
Jet lag's not too bad. It's it's just the travel and like the food. The food's different, so that's sort of, you got to figure out what you want to eat. And half the time I'm just eating cheeseburgers. Like I don't know what else is on the menu. I don't know. I don't want to waste my money on something that may be good, but I may not eat as well. So you stick with the traditional cheeseburger. Obviously, they haven't got Parmas over there, which sucks.
Yeah, okay.
You know, you start having withdrawals from not having a Parma. But no, it was, I think I went 4.7 on the 450 that round. Didn't get on the podium for the round, which sucked. And that was a mental thing as well. It's like, man, I performed so well on the 250, but the 450, I'm no good. And that just comes back to some testing. Like AEO did suspension for me, and the 250 is bang on. Like, I can do whatever I want on that 250.
Yeah.
The 450, something's just not, it's just got that more torque and feels like the arse is squatting a little bit. And then the bike just starts pivoting when you're doing stuff. So, and the brakes, we kept having issues with the brakes, and we found out what the problem was there. We were running a 6-pod Behringer off of 2014 KTM, and they actually changed the offset tinily slightly where it bolts up. So it was off center, it was dragging tinily, and just cooked brakes.
All right.
So Philip from Behringer USA found that problem. And that was actually at Tucson we found that problem. He was there, that was going off, going, these brakes are shit, what's going on? And he keeps telling me, he goes, it's the operator, it's not the product. I said, no, it's the product. Anyway, it turns out it was the operator. But he found that for me, and he wasn't actually going to go to that round Tucson, but he turned up just for me to help out.
Yeah, cool.
And he had to go back west to a drag meet because he had someone racing a national championship there.
Oh, yeah.
A pretty dedicated dude.
Yeah. So how the hell did you slip in a flat track race in between all that going on?
Yeah, so sorry I missed that. That was back at Sturgis. We got there a couple of days early just to relax and just unwind. And Bronson Pierce, he races the American flat track series as well as the Motard or Super Moto. And he's like, yeah, we're going down to do this race. Do you want to come down and watch? I'm like, yeah, I'll come down and have a look. We've got nothing else to do. And I was starting to get all edgy. I'm like, man, this is pretty sick. Like, got a bit of a fucking arena here under lights at night, heap of people. And that's just where the racer comes out in you. You just go, man, I want to go. I want to race. Like, I'm here. Let's go. Yeah. All the stuff's 5 minutes down the road. And yeah, there was this old dude there, retired veteran, had this huge fucking hauler. And I'm talking huge, like 30 foot.
Yeah.
And it had bikes stacked in there. And he just happened to have like CRF 250 09. And that thing, those bikes just get me weak at the knees. For some reason, they're just, you want my attention, get me an 09 CRF 250R 06 09. He had one there lowered, 19s front and rear. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do it. Yeah. And he asked me, he goes, man, you can ride the 450. I'm like, nah, 250. Give me the 250 and I'll ride it. So yeah, he let me ride it, and I think I gave him like $50, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I don't need your money. Don't worry about it." And I flogged the ringer out of that thing. No. So it was pretty sketchy. A lot of moments. I got on footage actually running up onto the fence of the left-hander. We lost you.
Yeah, that's it. You're back.
Yeah, nearly running into the fence, and then the next corner, tucking the front, coming into the left-hander. But
so was that just an oval, or was it a kidney, or what was that?
Is that TT when it goes? You do a left-hander and then you do a right-hander in the center of the track. Yeah. And it had like just a little roller.
Oh yeah, cool.
And then they did. I think that night they were only doing that TT, and the next night they were doing the full flat track. So they sort of went out of the stadium and come back in to do a long track.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
But that was cool. That and that's what got me all excited about flat track racing. Oh, this is pretty fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Easy as you think.
Yeah, it's good to hear you say that. Because we have that discussion a lot, especially about motocrosses. They look at it and go, "Oh, that's an easy sport, you know. You're just going in circles and just going left all the time. But yeah, so many elements to it. It's pretty unbelievable. But how did you find? Like, did you find similarities between motard and flat track? Do you reckon?
For sure, there is that similarity there, and that's where that motard, super motard, comes back to. It just combines everything: road racing, flat track,
Yeah,
all that TT stuff. So yeah, I had issues with flowing as such. I'd come in tight, turn and go. I wouldn't actually wouldn't flow the corner as
just
such.
feed it through. Yeah.
Yeah. So as the night went on, I got better and better. And I actually snuck out in a few other sessions as well, just to have a bit of play on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, just in the end, I worked on it and just was hanging off it, just on the gas, and you just feel the thing just wanting to lift up a little bit. You're like, all right, it's a sweet spot. Here's where we're going to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that's
And you walked away with a #1 plate that night, didn't you?
yeah, correct. Yeah, got the win in the 250 class that night. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. And so was that an amateur or what event was it?
It was just like a one-off event. Dude just put it on. It was the first of, so he's building it up, and he wants to be like the main flat track event for the Sturgis Bike Rally.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's just building it up, and they do like a week-long race event. So that night they were under lights outside. The next night they were inside a big shed under light, like obviously at night time.
Yeah.
And then I think you had another venue they were talking about where they go, half of it's in the shed, then half of it's out of the shed. So you start in the shed, then your first corner you go out of the shed, and then a straight, and then the next corner you're coming back into the shed.
Yeah, awesome.
Straight in the shed.
Did you get to watch any of the indoor the next night?
No, we were racing, doing what we were doing, and we were there. Yeah. Like I said, we had to do that drive. I think I went
the
that
big
night.
drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see much of it, but I'd like to see more.
So sounds like you'd like to race a bit more too. So will we see you on the AFTN at all? Or?
Yeah, look, it's I've got a 250 here, and there's a 250 senior class, and that's for some reason the small ballers get me excited than the 450s. So
yeah.
we've got to work some stuff out. I know pretty sure you've got a track, so
yeah, there's plenty of room for you to practice down here.
There's a track. My suspension dude's in Ballarat, so it sort of looks like it's heading that way.
So you use Race Ready, do you?
Yeah, we use Toby at Race Ready suspension in Ballarat.
Yeah, okay. And you use him for all your motard bikes too?
Everything.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sweet. And so,
just wants to.
Oh,
test.
sorry, you go.
Yeah, no, he's just keen. He wants to, like with the motard. He never touched a motard before I knew him. I actually met him at Wonthaggi at the 125 National Cup when I was racing, and we got talking. I'm like, man, his super motard suspension is the same. He's like, we'll figure it out. Just give me a day, and yeah, got it pretty spot on.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, I think I might go and see him about my suspension too, actually. So.
Yeah, it'll all work together. Like I said, I'll message him, and you're not far from Ballarat. We'll no doubt come out, spend the weekend there.
Yeah, for sure.
Spin some laps. I've just got to get a set of wheels, which you've probably got anyway.
Yeah. No, I've got wheels. We can cover that, no worries. The KTM ones fit on the Huskies. So
yeah, it's all the same. Just playing Lego with that stuff.
Yeah. So no, that's all pretty good. And so you're saying that you're more comfortable on the 250s than the 450s. Do you know what that is, or do you think it's your stature, or?
Couldn't tell you, dude. Honestly, I can't figure it out. And it's always been that way. And even road racing, I had a 600 CBR 600, and was way faster on that than I was a 1000cc road bike that was fully set up as well.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you. I don't know what it is. Like in America, I'm quicker on my 250 than I am the 450. And some tracks I'm only a second slower on the 250. Yeah. It's pure straight line speed.
That's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird. I can't figure it out. I can't give you that answer. I don't know. It's not suspension, because we've swapped the suspension from the 450 to 250 in road, and it was worse. So yeah, it's just gel with the small ball a lot better.
Yeah. And so where are we at? do you reckon in Australia, like where are we at with motard? Like, is it building back up or?
Nah, it's not, sadly. I believe there's a few good people out there trying to do good things with it. A lot of those people are in Western Australia.
Yeah.
And that's why I went over that way to race this year, because they put in the effort. They're doing it. They've got good dirt sections. They run their nightmares. They run under lights.
Yeah,
Obviously,
awesome.
Western Australia got better weather, but
yeah.
Queensland, they're doing a lot of stuff in the motard world, but there's not a lot of racing. No one wants to race at the moment, and we can't figure it out. Everyone's got bikes. They're doing track days. They're spending money. They're putting new tyres on for track days. What's the difference?
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, in Western Australia, where was the track? I saw you on social media there a couple of weeks back, I think it was.
Yeah, so we got back from America, had like 3 days to unwind, pack, rebuild the 450 with all the parts we had from America, and then head over, start driving. And it was at Wanneroo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Down there, the Wanneroo International Kart Club. And yeah, drove over with the family, which was an experience.
So is that Pinjar Park? Is that by there as well?
Yes, I believe it is. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a whole complex there. They've got the road track, drifters, go-karts, everything, motocross.
Yeah,
everything.
speedway. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm you believe it or not, I'm selling a majority of my tyres are going there.
Yeah, because they're doing it. These guys over there are living for it. I don't know if it's because like the guys over there have more money or not, but like people are keen to race it. The 85 super motard scene over there is ridiculous. That was the biggest class. There would have been 20 of them.
You're kidding. That's crazy.
20 adults on kids' bikes racing around having an absolute ball.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you
I was looking
here and there's nothing.
I was looking on my laps today because one of the guys, I always, when people buy tyres off me and that through our website, I like, or anything, whatever they buy, I like to give them a message and, show us a picture when you've got it on, show us your bike and that sort of stuff. And yeah, so sort of build up a bit of rapport with these guys because I like to know where they're riding and what's going on, so we'll head over there if we can. It's a pretty big drive, but
you only need one person to drive over with a van and a trailer. There's fucking 10 bikes.
Yeah, that's it. But he said, "Oh, check out my laps. The next race is on 10th. Check out my laps." And I had a look at it, and there was full grid of flat track bike. So I actually think it might have been two. I've sort of. It might have been closer to like 26 bikes or something. They had it. Yeah, I'd have to have a look again.
But what's that compared to the East Coast?
So around here, it's been a little bit quiet lately after COVID. It's been a bit up and down. You're across all classes. So that's just a senior class.
Yeah.
Across all classes here, you probably get 50 to 60 bikes. But it just depends. Goes up and down. Depends when the race meet is and that sort of thing. New South Wales was a bit bigger. The New South Wales titles was good. The Aussie titles was really good. That I think there was like 4 heats of 450 and Pro Open.
Was that just recently, or was that was a few months ago?
A few months ago at Forbes, before the flooding. Well, right at the start, actually, we went through a couple of floodwaters on the way up there.
Yeah.
And but it hadn't affected the town like it did a few weeks later.
And are those events ran during the day, or are they mostly under lights?
No, those ones are at the day.
Yeah.
Daytime. But I'll let you know the ones at night racing. Aubrey do a night race. It's called the Skylift Series, if it's called that this year. Next year, sorry, I'm not sure. But I just saw on social media they're hosting the senior track titles as well. Hopefully that will be at night time. So
yeah, I did see that. I'm excited.
Dirt track. Yeah, that's dirt track. So that will all be 21-18.
Oh, that's not 19.
Nah, you can turn up on 19s and show them how it's done though, mate.
So how's that go? That's a national title though, wouldn't it?
That's a national title.
And what's the regulations with that class? Like, can you run 19s, or is it like 21-18 sort of stuff.
No, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to run 19s with them.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can check the moms anyway online just to double check. But yeah, I'm actually 99.9% sure that you can. It's just
a huge advantage running 19s against 21. I mean, yeah, 19s front and rear compared to 21, 19.
Yeah, you know, this is the constant debate I'm having. People will just go, if that's what you race all the time, like you've sort of got an advantage because you're going to jump straight onto the American setup.
Yeah.
So you don't have anything to compare to.
Yeah.
The problem we have here is everyone compares to what they already use.
Yep.
And they have to adjust it in their brain and change it in their brain. And a lot of people just struggle with change.
Comfort zone's not there.
Yeah, comfort zone's not there. It feels really foreign. For example, I put a few people on my bike recently to let them have a go and see what it's like, and they're on the American tires on our home track.
Yeah.
One guy absolutely loved it, and he's quick. You know, he absolutely loved it. On my bike, when he put it on his bike, he had to change things to suit it.
Yeah, right.
The way, because I think he had to level the top of his forks up with the triple tree and that sort of thing because he had them pulled through for the 21. And it's about actually Jody Mason asked me what the overall rolling diameter difference is, and it's roughly 20 mils. So I knew I had it written down somewhere. I came and had a look the other day, and yes, about 20 mils different. So that sort of makes sense that you've got to level off your forks again with the triple tree. So yeah, because you compensate with the 21, so you pull them through to lower the front a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, so he really loved it. I put another young gun on it, and he couldn't get his head around it, you know. So, but he only got one session on it because I had to go, unfortunately. But a few more sessions, he would have worked it out. But yeah, if you're starting that way, it won't bother you. You won't know any different, you know. And from the motard, it will be closer to motard than the 21.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Closer to that setup.
Yeah, because a lot of people say, so what they do for dirt track. So on the dirt, there's a couple of ways to prep a track. You can hard roll it like for speedway solos.
Yep.
That's pretty perfect for American style. But it's a lot of people say that the dirt track prep style, which is usually a wonder wheel, so they sort of fluff it up and make quite a bit of surface.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, oh, it doesn't work in that. And I disagree. I actually, it does work in that. But yeah, whether it's, you know, Jared Brooks will tell you Australia's #1, Tom Drain will as well, that they reckon 21-18 is faster.
Yeah.
It is faster, but you can still do it on the 21-19. Sorry, the 19-19s.
Yeah.
Or the 21-19 for that matter, with our tyre. You can still be fast. You just have to approach it a little bit differently. And yeah, I saw Harrison, who's the guy that loved it. You know, he ended up racing the Speedway event the next day after the practice day. We swapped my wheel set onto his bike, onto his YZ.
Yeah.
And he raced on them. I said, you know, if you're not worried about your results, why don't you just have a crack?
Yeah.
You know? And Taylor Street, the current Australian track champion, track champion, was there. And first couple of races, he struggled a little bit. And then there was a couple of races, you know, he got right up in the face, you know. So, and she was on the 21-18. So it goes to show it can be done. It's just, just the rider and adjusting. Like I said, you know, they guys that have been doing it for a long time have got a disadvantage compared to you because you come down with sorry, what's Race Ready's name again? Toby. Come down with Toby, you set your bike up, you'll be sweet.
Toby from Race Ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a bit of lag going on again.
But no, it's definitely something. The flat tracks, that's where I reckon we'll go because the at this stage, I don't think there's even a national Super Moto championship for 23 in Australia.
Yeah.
And if it was going to be, it should have been released by now.
Yeah.
23.
Yeah. It's disappointing, isn't it? And do you sort of put that down to population as well? Because like you say, in Western Australia, they're doing it and they're getting numbers.
Yeah.
And Queensland, they're getting a few numbers up there. So
Just, yeah, don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Can't work out why it is. Unless someone's burnt someone and no one wants to put their hand up to do it.
yeah. Okay.
No one shows up. They ran 4 times. It got cancelled the national last year, or this year,
Right.
sorry. And then it gets to the point where it's like, why should I enter? It's just going to get cancelled.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, I know it's going to come at a loss, but it's going to build the sport up eventually if they run it.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, poor organisation is a big part to why things don't grow and don't take off, isn't it? If they keep leading down the riders, everyone will just stop supporting them, and yeah,
I think COVID had a lot to do with it. People losing money over accommodation and that. They didn't want to book, and then they couldn't book. But the same, it's organisation. You get in early, book, and do it. You're good, and go racing.
Yeah.
Money.
What's the cost to do a motard event?
Try not to bloody think about it. Ask me all the time, what did it cost? Don't know. Just tap it up.
Like just the entry fee, is it a couple $100?
Entry fee is just an entry fee, dude. Like $300 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing in the scheme of things. You're paying, $200 for 19 litres of fuel.
Yeah.
You're worried about $300 entry fee. Like, the entry fee lasts longer than the fuel does.
Yeah, that's where I do love flat track, because it is a lot more
Turn this
affordable.
generator.
Yeah, sweet. So for those that can't see on the YouTube, on the vlog, Josh has just done the dash. His bikes are in the background too.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're all good. So is the Husqvarna your 250 or your 450?
No, so the KDM's 250, and we bought that purely to race the Nationals this year.
Okay.
We bought that probably this time last year, 21. That's a 23 model. And the Huskies are 450, which is Mark Cooper's MCR Super Moto.
Okay.
He sponsored that one.
Yeah, right.
And he said the same thing. So let's go flat track. Let's go race flat track. They're doing it. There's a series. People are turning up. We can race. And I was like, man, I don't know. I've never done it. I guess we've got the bikes.
Yeah, you got the bikes. Yeah, you're pretty much set up, Yeah, I reckon you should too. Get into it. Not just because it's my thing, but I mean, it's going to save you a bit of bucks too. Like the entry fee's nowhere near as bad as your motard and that sort of shit. And there's going to be 6 rounds, 3 back to back. So wherever you travel, you get 2 races in the one weekend, two race meetings.
Oh, they do it on the same, like Saturdays round 1, Sundays round 2.
Yeah, and it's a series, and you hit the nail on the head before, and I think majority of races, when you get serious, you usually start out as, I'm enjoying this, and we'll go racing, and it feels cool, and then you start getting a bit serious, you get better, you get a bit more serious again, and then you sort of going, well, you do have those ups and downs, and a series is the answer. It just evens that playing field out a bit more. All the one-offs, someone's always traveling a long way to get to someone else's track, and then they're at a disadvantage because they're bloody knackered from driving 20 hours or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, if you make a series and then, one time you're driving 20 hours to me and I'm driving 20 hours to you, then it sort of all evens out. You can't use those excuses anymore.
Yeah.
And so I'm so stoked that AFTN is existing, and the racing looked really good. There's always going to be, complaints about tracks and all that sort of stuff. Always has been, and it's dirt, they change and all that sort of shit. So, but I can't wait for it next year. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know if you've seen that much of our post, but I've got a team happening next year.
Perfect.
Yeah, so 2 pro riders and 3 development. Whether the 3 development comes up to the AFTN rounds, I'm not sure, but the pro riders definitely will be.
Yeah.
And but yeah, we're going to do the Bathurst long track masters as well.
Okay.
Which isn't part of the AFTN, but they've got a 19-inch class.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fantastic. Hopefully,
for someone who doesn't know, how long is that?
I'll be going to Oyen. Sorry.
For someone who doesn't know, how long's the long track?
So it's a trotting track. So I think I actually haven't looked up how long Bathurst is. I know the Oyen trotting track was about 810 meters, something like that.
Yeah.
It's fast, about 140 k's an hour sort of track. Yeah, sort of that style around that. So like Cowra, I'm pretty sure their track is about 800 meters, but the radius is a lot tighter.
Yeah.
The trotting track, it's a lot slacker radius. So yeah, you can just hold it on. Yeah, it's bloody awesome. Like I still have dreams about Oyen, and that Oyen wouldn't be that far from you, would it?
No, it's only like a few hours up the road.
Yeah, so hopefully they run that again. I actually just emailed one of the organisers today to find some stuff out, and hopefully I'm running a little series called the Kelpie Cup next year too. I'm working on that at the moment, and that will also be for 19s, but anyone on 21-19 can join in as well, just to include them guys. And yeah, they can use our block tyre and that sort of thing. Well, they can use any 19 they want, but it has to be either American style or block pattern.
Yeah.
And yeah, just to help the AFTN, it was always, I wanted to do something like the AFTN, but I met Dave and knew he was going to do it. So I thought a smaller series might work well, something just to help promote the 19 class.
Yeah.
And get more people involved that might just want to get into the sport, but only have a motocross bike sitting there so they can come and use 21-19. Don't have to worry about buying an 18 and just get into it. So, yeah, that's the idea behind it. So hopefully that will be up and running. So, yeah, there'll be plenty of racing next year here. But are you going back to the States? Or?
Yeah, that's the thing. If we can't find the funding to go back to America, we're going to stay here in Australia and just attack that flat track, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I don't think nothing's going to happen with Motard next year. There's no plans. No one's got anything. There's that mini GP. There's a support class, but I don't see that as motarding. I see that as road racing. There's no dirt section, so it doesn't really interest me that much.
It's interesting you say that, because I've spoken to a few guys that have done motard in the past, and a lot of them say that, you know, when they don't have the dirt section, it's just road racing. What's the point? Yeah, you might as well get a road bike.
Yep.
And do that. So yeah, I wonder if that's hurt it a little bit.
But access to tracks has hurt us a lot. We just can't get on tracks. Like we've got our local go-kart track here, and 2 years trying to get on there, and then they're like, "Yeah, all right, we'll let you on, but it's only you and Graham, and it's only because he helps sponsor the club, and you're restricted to a CC limit, and you're only there one day a month." And I'm like, "What's the point? Like, I'm here to grow the sport. I'm here to help you, club, financially.
Yeah.
Like, I can bring a lot of people to Horsham, to the area.
Yeah.
But no, they're not interested. And a lot of clubs, not interested in bikes. Straight away, no bikes.
Yeah, right.
Damage to the track.
Yeah, car groups are quite hard to work with. I've been doing a similar thing with speedway clubs.
Yeah.
And there's a double whammy there, because MV's against the speedway tracks for a start because of the concrete walls and all that sort of stuff. And even some of the tracks don't have concrete walls, and it's still it's a car track. It's not suitable for our sport. But it, in the 1919s, or even the 2118, to be realistic, that's fine. It'd be fine. You just got to use common sense. And yeah, obviously, there's probably a lot of stories we haven't heard insurance-wise that have made them think this way. And, we get arseholes in every discipline that stuffs it up for everyone else, I guess. But, It's just so frustrating. I've mentioned this a few times on the pod too. You know, I looked up speedway tracks and I got up to like 25 tracks, you know, before I stopped. And it's just there's so many of them around, but you can't ride bikes on.
Yeah,
Bloody frustrating.
sure is. But that get back to the flat track stuff. That series in Australia, is that one weekend or is that a series? Like a round, like it's extra rounds, or is it just one weekend
The AFT
in Australia?
yeah, no. So it'll be 3 weekends, two rounds at each weekend.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm pretty sure Appin's going to be one of them. Don't quote me on that.
Yep.
But I would say because they had TT on there. There are a few other T3 tracks around, but yeah, I'd say, and they were the hosts for the teaser. So I think everyone was happy with how it went there, and yeah, so I'm pretty sure that will be on the cards. I actually want to get hold of Dave and see if we can have a catch up and get some more information out of him, and yeah, see what he's got organised already and how far ahead he is in his planning.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sooner we get the information out there, and you know, yeah, if you do get a chance to put the pods on while you're working and stuff, and have a listen, because you'll just see how big our family is. We've been talking to guys in New Zealand and stuff, and they're keen to come over, you know.
Yeah.
So, and they've got a few great races happening over there as well that I'd be keen to go over there as well. So, yeah, anyone that would like to tag along, we'll work it out how to get bikes there and stuff. I've got shipping company I work with, obviously, with products and stuff, and they said, yeah, just let us know the dates and that, and we'll give you
shipping
quotes.
stuff's easy.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll be able to get over there, and the Kiwis are up for it. You know, they really want to race against us. They sort of see our scene, because dirt track scene is bigger than their flat track scene, but they're actually ahead of us as far as riding on the 19s, really, because that's all they do. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see who's faster, and yeah, I think it would be awesome to get some of that across the Tasman stuff.
They bring back the Australasian Championship they used to do. Yeah, bloody, I've lost you again. There we go.
Yeah.
They used to do at bloody Geelong, that Australasian Championship at Barrable, the motocross.
Oh, right.
To do that again with flat track.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, something different.
Have you done any of the what's it called? I call it grass track, or thumper cross, and what do they call it now?
Hair racing.
There's a series of it, and there was one out by Warrnambool, I think it was, not long ago. I thought you shared the post. Am cross.
Are you? Pardon?
Am cross.
What is it? Like
it's just grass track, basically. It's natural terrain motocross.
They do like the hair scrambles, they call them. It's pretty big up near Edenhope Way, and that's just full noise, just wide open stuff.
Yeah,
but stuff. I grew up doing that down in Portland, but it doesn't really interest me that much. Like just going fast in a straight line. There's a lot of it around, definitely.
Yeah, well, I did a classic scramble at Harrow this year, and it's the best fun I've had in ages. It's like it just ignited the passion for me, and it was fantastic. It was up a hill, down a hill, you know, all around through trees and stuff, and but wide, about 3 meters wide, so like almost like a natural flat track, you know, or turn track. So I'm keen to do some of the Am cross on a 450. I reckon that would be pretty good. But sorry, I thought it was you that shared that one. It mustn't have been.
Nah, buddy. No, I did did the Nil and Pony Express this year.
Oh yeah,
we won that one. Am cross is a club level racing series held on natural terrain circuits. Yeah, right. Which is just enduro racing, wouldn't it be? And racing.
No, because it's laps. It's still laps.
Yep.
So it's just like a turn track. But it will go. Some of them are hilly, some of them aren't so. But it's just grass, so it starts out nice and flat. And
exactly.
2 races in, it's a big ruddy mess.
I didn't realise what time it is. It's got a mate turn up. But
okay.
That's okay. Yeah, but that's the sort of stuff they did. Pretty sure Barrable turned out to be that track in its day.
Yeah, okay.
Cross, what they used to call it. Pretty sure.
Yeah, it was. So Jeff Ballard started Thumpercross with a couple other dudes. And then there was a whole lot of political shit that happened and stopped it, I think. But it was a pretty good series from the sound of it. But yeah, the Amcross is in the same sort of vein. So I think it's probably a good cross training arena for flat trackers and motards. Motard. Sorry.
Just bike time.
Yeah, seat time, and the great thing with even from doing track or dirt track or flat track, whatever you want to call it, but on the dirt, and then you go to motard, I reckon you'll increase your times 100%. Like when I came off the dirt track and went and did the street racing in New Zealand, it's just like, oh my God, this is just so smooth.
Yeah.
And I know I'm a lot slower than you because I remember it Broadford, you just, but you'll just, if you're riding track a lot and then you go and do some motard, you're just going to go, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And it will definitely help improve your dirt sections for sure.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, mate, well, we might wrap that one up. Do you want to give a few of your sponsors a plug or anyone a plug? And maybe let's give your business a plug too. So what if people up in that area, Horsham, do you deliver stuff out? Because I noticed you did VP Racing Fuel as well.
Yeah, so we do a lot of those products as well. We sort of ship that stuff locally, just with couriers.
Yeah.
But not really that far. But yeah, just Josh McLean Motorcycles in Horsham. So, but yeah, just Google it. It'll pop up. And come in, just give me a call. Be about it. But no doubt you'll see
sweet.
me.
Yeah, and you can chop people out, give them a hand.
Got me now.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, we've got a bit of a bad line, unfortunately. It's sort of you're dropping in and out of it.
That's right. Well, but yeah, no doubt you'll see me in the future, I reckon, at a flat track race. And we'll have a crack at it, for sure.
Yeah, we'll come down here and get some seat time, and then you can tell everyone, oh, you've never raced flat track once you smoke them all. So dress it up. Awesome, thanks. Yeah, thanks for coming on, man, and I wish you all the best with your shop and your family and that, because you've got another new baby.
Yeah, I've got three boys now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, full on.
That's 3-year-old and 4-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome work on your missus' side too. She obviously knew what she got into. You're a racer at heart, and she supports you. So that's fantastic to see. Nothing worse than hearing a racer say, "Oh, my missus doesn't want me to go racing." So yeah, good on her. It's a family affair, and yeah, everyone get behind Josh and help his business out. I'm sure he doesn't want to be any busier, but it always helps to have more work than not enough.
That's it.
And really look forward to seeing you racing flat track in the near future.
Easy done.
Cool, man. So there you go. What a great chat with Josh there. Number 60, Joshua McLean, AMA Pro Light Super Moto Champion 2022. What a great effort. Love the story about how he made it all happen and how he ended up going over there. Just asking, it's amazing what happens when you just ask. Looks like we'll be having him on our flat track scene, which is fantastic. I encourage him to do that too, because he's an awesome racer and he'll be great to watch. And as you heard, he goes to win, not just make up the numbers. And that's the kind of riders we want to see out on the track. So that's a wrap for that one. I hope you. I think that was pretty informative. He's our first sort of non-flat tracker, I guess, but as you can see, he's been inspired. The story of his racing in America and the flat track race he did over there, and that I think really turned him on, and we'll see great things from Josh in the future. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Share on social media, all that sort of stuff. Keep the love going. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the messages I've been getting lately, which is a lot. And I'll take the time to reply on that if you do reach out. So keep up the good work, guys. Have a safe Christmas. There probably will be another one before Christmas, but see how I go. I've got a couple teed up, almost teed up, just finishing off. Just got to finalise them, and we'll see if we can get them done before or not. It will be a bit of a push, but you never know. If not, I'll try and do some sort of Christmas special. What if I got a week or something? But yeah, you know what to do, guys. Keep it sideways. Go flat tracker.
Tracker. Go flat tracker, go, go, go.